With no cup race this past weekend, how about some Xfinity Series power rankings for a change? How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. Many of you have asked. Today, I'm going to deliver. We will rank the top 10 fastest overall drivers and teams in the NASCAR Xfinity Series in just a few moments. First, a couple of quick headlines I'd like to discuss. Speaking of the Xfinity Series, the race at Rockingham Speedway reached over 1 million viewers on the CW. That means all 10 Xfinity Series races this season have hit the 1 million viewership mark. This is, of course, the first full year of the Xfinity Series on the CW. There have been some kinks, some hiccups, some things to work out, but by and large, putting NASCAR's secondary series on over-the-air television has proven to be a huge success in the ratings department. And one more thing before we move on from Rockingham, Richard Childress Racing's appeal of the Jesse Love disqualification will be heard tomorrow, Wednesday, this week. So by this time tomorrow afternoon, likely we will know the result. Will Jesse Love's DQ stand, or will he be re-awarded the victory? We will talk about that news as soon as it comes out. But sticking with the theme of television for a moment, today, Amazon Prime Video announced that the NASCAR Garage 56 Le Mans documentary will premiere June 12th. American Thunder, NASCAR at Le Mans. Anything with Thunder in the title is an automatic win in my book. NASCAR Thunder, Days of Thunder, American Thunder, it's all perfect. But yes, June 12th, Amazon Prime Video. I'm excited to check it out. NASCAR has tried really hard over the past few years to break back into the cultural mainstream. Things like the Clash at the Coliseum, the Chicago Street Race, the Ross Chastain Wall Ride, the 3-wide Lightning McQueen-esque finish. The problem is so many of those events or moments were just that, moments. Viral moments, sure, but little to no staying power. I think Slapshoes, a friend of the channel, did a pretty good video specifically about the Hail Melon, but I think you could apply many of those points to all these other events I'm talking about. NASCAR at Le Mans was another one of these moments that reached millions of motorsports fans across the world, even reached many casual racing fans here in the United States. The memes that were born from Garage 56, still memorable to this day. I know this is anecdotal, but that weekend I was at a wedding where I hardly knew anyone, but that didn't stop several, not one, not two, several people from coming up to me to talk about NASCAR at Le Mans. They weren't NASCAR fans per se, but once they found out that I was, they had questions. They wanted to talk to me about it. We were watching memes. It was a cultural moment. And so it's great that nearly 2 years later, NASCAR and Amazon are trying to recapture that, trying to capitalize on the relevant cultural moment this was. Especially now, the timing is perfect. NASCAR continues to float the idea of racing overseas, and this Prime Video documentary releases on June 12th. That's 3 days before NASCAR takes the Cup Series to Mexico City for the first ever international points race in Cup Series history. The timing is perfect. The build-up, the marketing, both will be broadcast on Amazon Prime Video. Genius. You gotta give them credit. NASCAR wants to be viewed as a legitimate international sports property. Garage 56 was a huge step in the right direction, and I think working with Amazon Prime Video on this docuseries is going to continue that movement, hopefully. Finally, maybe one of those viral moments NASCAR has had over the past few years is actually going to lead to something more long-term, contribute to something much bigger. Looking forward to seeing this Prime Video documentary. Hope it's cool, hope it's good. But now, as promised, we won't do Cup Series power rankings, did that last week. The Xfinity Series raced at Rockingham. Let's talk Xfinity Series team power rankings for a change. I'm going to rank the 10 fastest overall teams in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Let's rock and roll. Ooh, different color this week. I say that like I didn't just spend 5 minutes in Photoshop changing the colors. But yes, 10 races into the Xfinity Series season. Let's start with number 10, Taylor Gray. I almost put Ryan Sieg in this spot. He's been close to getting his first Xfinity Series win, but then I realized he and Taylor Gray have the same number of top 10 finishes, and Taylor has more laps led, and let's be honest, drives for the bigger team with more resources. Taylor Gray also has Jason Ratcliffe, the winningest Xfinity Series crew chief of all time, on his pit box. Taylor Gray should have won Martinsville. We know how that ended up. He wound up being scored 29th once the dust settled. That is brutal. He's coming off a top 5 finish at Rockingham, where he ran up near the front pretty much all day. He's an Xfinity Series rookie, but he's surrounded by experience. I think Taylor Gray is going to steadily improve throughout the year. For now, I have him in the number 10 spot. He could be a threat to win anywhere almost any week. At number 9, give me Sheldon Creed. Somehow Sheldon is holding on to 10th in points despite getting dumped at Bristol and then destroyed, and then getting taken out by someone else's mistake at Rockingham. Back-to-back brutal weekends. But he's still holding strong. When he's not getting wrecked, he's getting pretty good finishes. He has the 4th, or is tied for the 4th most top 5 finishes in the series. One day, the stars will all align and Sheldon Creed will finally break through to get his first NASCAR Xfinity Series win. It's going to happen. Obviously, he is way overdue. Creed at 9. Number 8. I want to talk about a couple more rookies, beginning with Carson Kvapil. He's run well the past few weeks, 2 top 5s in the past 3 races. I would have liked to move him a couple spots higher, but some of the guys I have immediately in front of him have wins this season, and Kvapil's still looking for his first breakout victory. He ran 2nd at Bristol, which was not a surprise considering his recent short track late model experience. What shocked me though was his top 5, top 2 speed at Coda, a road course earlier this year. Didn't get the finish he deserved, but boy, he gave Connor Zilich a run for his money. I really liked what I saw from the young junior motorsports driver. I'm a little worried going forward. Again, short tracks, that's his specialty. But when we look at the upcoming races, Talladega, Texas, Charlotte, all big ovals. Nashville even, kind of an intermediate. Mexico City, another road course, is 2 months away, and the next short-ish oval race is Dover, 3 months away. So Carson Kvapil is going to do a lot of learning over the next few weeks, couple months. Frankly, I'm excited to see how he improves. Kvapil at 8. Another rookie at number 7. This one is Connor Zilich. I'm giving him credit for the road course win at Circuit of the Americas. That was huge, but that still is the only top 5 finish Zilich has scored this entire season. That's surprising considering he's run really well. Like, he dominated the first half of that Martinsville race. I think he swept the stages before he lost his track position and got beat up. Still, I think Zilich, of really all these rookies, might have the highest ceiling. We already know he's the best road course racer in the Xfinity Series right now, and I mean, he led a bunch of laps at Las Vegas. I mentioned Martinsville. He's caught on to oval racing quicker than I expected, frankly. I mean, we saw glimpses last year when he was racing part-time. I mentioned seeing firsthand him run top 5 at Kansas last fall. Connor Zilich, really adaptable. So when we go to these intermediate tracks coming up, I think he's going to pick it up very quickly. That's why I have Connor Zilich in the 7th spot ahead of some of these other guys who haven't won races yet this season. At number 6, Brandon Jones, from one of the youngest in the series to one of the series vets, you could say. I've talked about it before, but that Darlington win a couple weeks ago was super impressive. There were some good Cup Series drivers in that race. Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, Ross Chastain. Brandon Jones got the win going away. For some reason, the past couple of years at Junior Motorsports just didn't work out. But back in the day when Brandon Jones first drove for JGR, he was winning races. I think he had 3 wins in 2020. Back with JGR this season, he's already on the board. Looks more like his old playoff contending self. I'm not sure if this will be a controversial pick, but at number 5, give me Sammy Smith. Look, if you give him those 50 driver points back, he would be 2nd in the regular season standings. And even with the huge penalty for Martinsville, he's still 8th in the regular season points. He's got the 2nd most stage points earned this year. He also just got a win. Yes, it was the result of Jesse Love being DQ'd, and we'll see tomorrow if that result stands, but you know, as of now, he's on the board. Martinsville was a black eye, no doubt, but overall, Sammy Smith has been pretty steady this season. 0 DNFs, that's good for the young driver. I've got Sammy in a top 5 spot. They're fast. They are fast. I've got Jesse Love at number 4. He's only had one bad race this year. It was Martinsville, where he got wrecked by his teammate who decided to plow through the entire inside lane. If you take that out and you take the disqualification out, his average finish this year is like 7th. Really good numbers for the sophomore driver, really steady, really consistent, and we saw, even if the car was borderline illegal, we saw some superstar style moves at Rockingham this weekend, hanging that car out wide, dirt tracking it. We saw, I think, some of Jesse Love's just raw driving potential this past weekend. So I've got Jesse Love at 4. He's top 5 in points. I think he's earned that. Another one that might be a little controversial, but I stand by it. Sam Mayer at 3. Guys, he's second in points. It's a distant second, but still, he's P2. Second most top 5, second most top 10s. Sure, there are still those moments that make me go, ooh, like when he just dumped Christian Eckes at Martinsville, for example, or when he jacked up Larson on the restart at Homestead and stacked the whole inside lane up. But so far, he's trending towards a career best average finish, and the only bad finishes he has this season were Atlanta, a super speedway where he was in a huge crash, and Rockingham, where he was running, I think, top 5 when he ran out of gas late and, big chain reaction stack up. The past few years, we've questioned Sam Mayer's consistency, and some of that is the driver, I think, still making mistakes, but a lot of that was just the inconsistent speed, the pace. The speed has been consistent to start this year. That's why I have Sam Mayer 3rd on my power rankings. And it's part of why he's still 2nd in points, because the speed is consistent. At number 2, gotta end this with some veteran drivers here. I like experience. Austin Hill has experience. I honestly wasn't sure if I should put Austin Hill 2nd, 3rd, or 4th on this list, but I chose 2nd because I remembered that Talladega is next. And you guys know how I do my power rankings. It's largely based on recent speed, recent results, but it's also based on immediate future projections. Austin Hill will almost certainly lead the most laps at Talladega this weekend and will be in contention towards the end. He's already got 2 wins on the year. I know one of them kind of just fell into his lap at Martinsville, but still. One weird stat I noticed when doing research, Justin Allgaier has nearly double the stage points of anyone, including Austin Hill, but Austin Hill actually has the most stage wins of any Xfinity Series regular so far this year, so that's worth noting. Austin Hill at 2, head into one of his best tracks. At number 1, though, just mentioned Justin Allgaier. He's the easy choice. Not only is he the defending series champion, he's tied with Austin Hill with 2 wins. He leads the regular season standings by 80 points. That's more than a full race. You could sweep the stages, get the Xfinity fastest lap. You still wouldn't come close to the mark Justin Allgaier has currently set. Most top 5s, most top 10s, most laps led, most stage points. And we know he's been doing this a long time. So far, he's on pace to set a new career best average finish. We'll see if that sticks. It's a long season, but a really, really fast start for the defending champion, Justin Allgaier. There you go. Roughly a third of the way through the Xfinity Series season, 10 races in. Here are my Xfinity Series power rankings, the fastest drivers and teams in the series right now. Let me know in the comments below if you agree, if you disagree. There are a lot of names I wanted to include on this list, but I just couldn't quite find room for them. Guys like I mentioned, Ryan Sieg. I think Christian Eckes is going to keep getting better. Shoot, Parker Retzlaff and Brennan Poole just finished top 5 for Alpha Prime Racing. Remember, Brennan almost won this Talladega race last spring. I could have mentioned them. Harrison and Jeb Burton. Daniel Dye's just outside the top 10 in points, but ultimately, these are the 10 I settled on. Let me know if you agree down in the comments below. I can't wait to see your reactions. That is going to do it for this special Xfinity Series Power Rankings episode of Out of the Groove. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that thumbs up button down below if you enjoyed this video. Also, subscribe to the channel. It's free, and you'll get the latest NASCAR news and commentary and race reactions in your feed every single day. Big thank you to my Patreon supporters as well. I will talk to you again soon. Cup Series is back this weekend at Talladega. Triple header, Cup, Xfinity, ARCA as well. I think Cletus McFarlane on the entry list, Garrett Mitchell. Going to be a fun weekend of racing at the biggest oval on the NASCAR schedule. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, folks. I will talk with you again real soon.